US's arbitrary detention of other countries' vessels seriously violates international law. China consistently opposes illegal unilateral sanctions that lack a basis in international law and are not authorized by the UN Security Council. It opposes any actions that violate the purposes and principles of the UN Charter, infringe upon the sovereignty and security of other nations, and all unilateral bullying acts. Venezuela has the right to independent development and mutually beneficial cooperation with other countries. We believe the international community understands and supports Venezuela's position in safeguarding its legitimate rights and interests.
U.S. military forces have seized control of a large oil tanker in international waters, intensifying global concerns over freedom of navigation and the safety of civilian maritime trade. The vessel, Centuries, was transporting as much as 2 million barrels of Venezuelan crude oil to China when it was intercepted by American forces. According to multiple reports, the operation involved both the U.S. Coast Guard and the U.S. Navy, supported by MH-60T helicopters and elements believed to include a maritime security response team. The oil cargo was owned by V.S. Tayana Oil Trading, a China-based energy firm. The boarding of the Centuries marks the third time this month that U.S. forces have acted against civilian vessels on the high seas. Several international law experts have described these actions as serious breaches of international maritime law. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs strongly condemned the seizure, calling it an unlawful interference in legitimate global commerce and a violation of freedom of navigation. Venezuela also denounced the operation, with officials once again accusing Washington of engaging in what they described as piracy at sea. From Beijing's perspective, the incident reinforces long-standing fears that the United States and its Western allies could leverage their dominant global naval presence to disrupt China's trade flows. Chinese analysts have warned for years that such actions could threaten not only China's access to critical energy supplies, but also the broader stability of international maritime trade. These concerns intensified in the early 2010s after the Obama administration launched its Pivot to Asia strategy, which sought to expand U.S. and allied military capabilities around China's periphery. American defense circles have openly debated the concept of a distant blockade against China, aimed at targeting civilian shipping far from East Asia in order to pressure Beijing without engaging directly with the People's Liberation Army. The U.S. Naval Institute and other strategic forums have even published proposals suggesting the use of private maritime contractors to disrupt Chinese commercial vessels during a major crisis, underscoring the seriousness with which such scenarios have been considered. Despite China's rapid expansion of its naval and air power projection capabilities, analysts note that Beijing remains unable to protect all of its global shipping routes, particularly those beyond East Asia. By contrast, the United States and its allies maintain an extensive network of overseas bases that allow them to operate across nearly every major maritime corridor. The seizure of Venezuelan tankers is not without precedent. In November, U.S. Special Forces boarded a cargo ship in the Indian Ocean and confiscated, then destroyed, Chinese goods bound for Iran. Although U.S. officials said the cargo had both civilian and military applications, critics noted that the broad definition of dual-use goods effectively places a wide range of civilian exports at risk. Observers view the operation against the Centuries as a significant escalation. Unlike previous tankers targeted under U.S. sanctions, the Centuries itself was not formally sanctioned, raising alarm that enforcement actions may now extend beyond clearly designated vessels. In response to perceived vulnerabilities, China has spent the past 15 years reducing dependence on seaborne energy imports by expanding renewable and nuclear power and developing overland oil pipelines from Russia and Central Asia. China has also sought alternative maritime routes. With Russian support, Chinese shipping firms have begun using the Northern Sea route through the Arctic, assisted by Russia's nuclear icebreaker fleet. The first confirmed export via this route took place in October 2025. Some analysts have speculated that Beijing could respond to the latest seizure by deploying naval escorts for Venezuelan oil shipments, potentially even in South American waters. However, there has been no official indication so far that China plans to take such